All right, so I'm going to record a quick video on how to create your very first image in Adobe Photoshop. This is exactly what we are going to create. We're using 3 photos to do this. We've got the Golden Gate Bridge here. We have a moon picture, and then we have a space or universe picture. First thing we have to do is we have to create a new file. So go up to File and New. If you're just opening Photoshop, you'll do the same thing. There'll just be a little blue button on the top that you'll have to say File, New, and then you're going to go to the print icon here on the top, and then default is letter 8.5 by 11, 300 points per square inch. So over here you have everything laid out for you. 8.5 by 11, 300 is the resolution, which is perfect for print. Makes it high resolution, gives a lot of detail. We'll keep it an RGB color because it just looks better on the screen. And then we're going to get into the habit of changing the background contents from white to transparent. So it's a little drop-down menu. Then hit Create. From here, what we need to do is we need to import those 3 photos. And so in Google Classroom, you have those images. You have that under Introduction to Photoshop. And you have Galaxy, the Golden Gate Bridge, and then the moon. You want to do these kind of in order. It just makes it a little easier for us to load them in without having to doing any adjusting. So you're going to do the universe first, the moon second, and then the bridge last. So you're going to click on the file. You have to go up to the top right to have more actions. Click on more actions to open up in a new window, and then it'll allow you to download it. If you don't see the download button here, you have to go into more actions, and then download will be there for you. So go ahead and go back to Classroom, find the moon, download that, and then go finally do the bridge photo. Then back in Photoshop, you're going to upload those. So you're going to go to File, Place Embedded. So this, we don't want linked files because you're playing on different computers every day. And if it's a linked file, it's linked to the download specific to your computer. So you're going to lose it. It's going to just cause you problems. So Place Embedded. You want to find it on your computer. You're going to go to your Downloads folder. You're going to do the Galaxy first. When it loads in, just hit enter. It lands it for you, and it creates a new layer. So I just drug my layers out from my properties panel. There's this little tab here. You just click it and drag it. Go ahead and click and drag it out. It'll make it a little easier for you to see exactly what's happening. Then you want to rename that layer. So right now it's named October 28th, 2020. I'm just going to double click on that group of words, and then we'll call it space. Just again, it helps us visualize what is inside of that layer. You're using your move tool. Your move tool acts a lot like your selection tool in Adobe Illustrator, but they're calling it the move tool in Photoshop. One thing that I want to make sure you're doing, make sure that you've selected the move tool, and then up on top it says show transform controls. You want to click on show transform controls. That just allows you to have this bounding box for you to resize anything or move it around. Otherwise, you're going to have to tell it. There's a Control T would be the hotkey, or Command T on the Mac would be the hotkey to get to this action. But by just clicking on show transform controls, that kind of alleviates that. Okay, repeat the process. You're going to download or place embedded on both moon, hitting enter after you place it, and bridge. Now you have 3 layers in your layers panel. You want to rename each of those layers. So double click the layer and name it accordingly. So I'm going to name the moon, moon, and the bridge, bridge. And they're aligned correctly. So the space is always going to stay all the way in the back. The moon's going to be in the middle of the space layer and the bridge layer. These are easy to move. So if you accidentally import them and they're not aligned in this way, you can just click the layer and drag it so it's in the right position. These eyeballs, you have eyeballs here in your layers panel. We're going to turn the eyeballs off, which just hides the layers. You can go back and turn them on when you're ready. I want to see the space layer. I also want to make sure the space layer is active. By clicking on it, it turns light gray. That's telling us that the layer is active. And you can see that we have the bounding box. I'm going to rotate this. We're going to fill the space. And so with your move tool, you want to hover over the corner. You want to see that rounded arrow, and then you can drag it to make it vertical. If you hold shift, you can see that it moves in 15-degree increments, which makes it a little easier to make sure you have it exactly straight. And again, after every action, you have to hit enter to land it. We have to increase the size of this to fill up the whole artboard. So to do that, you can click aside and drag, and you can see that it's anchoring down on the opposite side. So if I click and drag here, it's anchored up here and vice versa. But if you hold the Alt button, then it scales from the middle and makes it a little easier. You can also do it from the side there. And so you can notice that 2 things are happening. 1, it's looking real blurry and pretty ugly right now. And 2, you can see that anything that's extending past the artboard, it is hiding. So like in Illustrator, you can see the paste board and whatever, you can put things here. Photoshop, it just hides everything that's outside of the artboard. Makes it a little cleaner looking, but just know that image is still there. Whenever you're done sizing it, making sure it's filling up the whole space, you're going to hit enter, and then it becomes nice, crisp, and clean again. You can move this around still. You can see that it's extending past the edges. And so, I want for me, this is your photo, so you can place this wherever you want. But for mine, I want the edge of that little Milky Way to kind of be up on the top over here. Move it down just a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to turn on the moon layer. Turn the eyeball on. Click on the moon layer to highlight it to make sure that it's selected. In 2024, we have this contextual taskbar. I think that's what they call it. And so whenever you're selecting something, it gives you some basic options. Remove background, select subject. I think either one of these would probably work in this instance, but I want to go hit select subject. What we're going to do is we're going to hide the black background and just keep the moon revealed. It thought about it. It figured out what the subject was. It did a great job. You see these little dotted lines, this dashed line. It's actually called marching ants. So these marching ants are defining the space. And so we can make edits to anything on the inside of that space. What we're going to do is we're going to add a layer mask, which is this icon right here, white box, black circle, which you can see here as well in your layers. So both of those buttons work. You can do the same action. But basically, when you click on that, what it's doing is anything that isn't selected, which was the background, the black space behind the moon, it created a mask. So it's not destroying the photo, it's just hiding what we don't want to be visible. We'll kind of move that up and out of the way, and then we'll turn on the bridge layer. For the bridge layer, what we're going to do is we are going to remove the sky, but first we need to select the sky. So we're going to go up to the word select, and we're going to select sky. Give it a second, it's thinking. And here in a second, it's going to just grab what it thinks is the sky. So that does a great job. It sees the horizon line. It sees, even the colors in between the bridge. So it's doing a great job recognizing where the sky lives. And what we're going to do, we're going to do a layer mask. Now, note, we are selecting the sky. So when we hit the layer mask, I'll just turn off the eye on both of these. You can see that it selected the sky. And we want to reverse that. So in your layers, you can see that's the layer mask. It's highlighted because it has a white box around it. And we're going to invert it. So Control I on the PC, Command I on the Mac. And then you can see that it just reversed what is being visible and what's hiding. Then we're just going to enlarge this, holding Alt, grabbing the side, making it bigger than the artboard, and then figuring out where you want it in your design. And then really, you're just going to turn on everything else. You're going to reposition the moon. If you want your moon to be bigger or smaller, you can do that. And then very last move that we're going to do is we're going to add a layer adjustment, which again, you can do it here. It's that little half circle or there. We're going to do hue saturation. We get this little properties panel. We're going to scroll down to the bottom and make sure colorize is checked. That way it's going to change the color of the moon and anything underneath it. So I'm just going to make it I'll make it a purple color. And then just hide that. So you can see that it added a new layer and it's affecting everything else underneath it. So, again, I can move this adjustment layer anywhere and it's adjusting everything underneath it. But I wanted to adjust just the moon layer and not the space layer. So we have to create a clipping mask. Easy. All you got to do is right click where it says hue saturation. Go down to clipping mask. It clips it just to the layer underneath and not to all layers underneath. And that's it. Then from here, you're just going to save it. File, save as. You want to make sure that you're saving it to Creative Cloud. You can name it Day 1, Photoshop, and hit save. There you go. That's it.